Okay, for this part, we're going to attach our shoulder reinforcement, which is cut in canvas, and it should be cut on the bias grain, to our shoulder of the canvas that we just stitched up, the front of the jacket canvas. Okay, so you want to take one of your sides of your canvas, and this goes on the side. So if we lay our canvas inside of our wool, which is this is how it's going to go. All right, so I have my wool down, right side facing down, seam allowance facing up, and then I lay my canvas on top of it. I want so that the shoulder reinforcement is facing out towards me, just like here. Okay, so it's on top of the canvas like that. It's not in between the canvas and the wool, it's on top of the canvas, just like you see here. Okay, so once you've figured out which side it goes on, go ahead and remove the pattern from your reinforcement. And we're going to take a colored pencil. Again, don't use pen or marker or anything that's going to leak. And we're going to take our clear plastic ruler as well. And starting on one side, measure over a ½ inch and mark a line. Okay? Then mark each line after that an inch away from that ½ inch. That first line you measured over a ½ inch to draw. Okay? So I'm marking all these lines. They're each a ½ inch or an inch from each other. Okay. So again, that first line is a ½ inch away from the edge, and then all the lines after that are based off that first line, and they're an inch away. Okay. The reason I put one at a ½ inch is because I don't want the line so far away from the edge that I can get my fingers underneath here or that flops around or anything like that. Okay. Make sure you mark both shoulder reinforcement pieces. Okay. Same thing with the other piece. You'll mark it exactly the same way. ½ inch from first edge, and then from that first line you drew, every line draw an inch away. Okay. Now these lines that we're drawing on here are going to be the stitching lines that we use to stitch this. They're going to be guides to stitch this onto the actual hair canvas that we'll be installing into the body of the jacket. Okay, so once you finish marking your stitching guidelines on your shoulder reinforcement, what you want to do is figure out the placement for it on your canvas. So take your pattern and measure over from the cut edges of your pattern to figure out exactly where it goes. It should be about an 1/8 in from all your seam allowances, all right? But again, remember to look at your patterns and find out exactly where it goes, okay? So once you know what those measurements are, take your canvas, a colored pencil, and your clear plastic ruler, and then measure down from the cut edge of your canvas how far down the reinforcement pattern comes. Okay, so you're gonna measure down from the shoulder. Again, it should, I believe, 5/8 from the cut edge. I'm just gonna mark that on there, and do the same thing from armhole and neckline. And at armhole and neckline, you just need to do like 3 or 4 inches down. You don't need to go all the way. As long as you have some of it as a guide, you'll be able to line it up. Okay, so here it's being marked at neckline as well. Now we have the guidelines to be able to just lay that in there and figure out where it goes. So place your shoulder reinforcement on your canvas, and then just use like 3 or 4 pins to pin it in place and hold it down in the correct position. Once it's pinned into place, then you're going to do a diagonal basting stitch, and you're going to do about 3 rows, one on each side and one down the middle. As you can see, it's happening here very quickly, and that will hold it in place, and then you're ready to stitch it. So bring it to your sewing machine and just do a regular straight stitch here. Okay, back tack bringing it in because you want it to be held into place. And you're just going to stitch right down each of your guidelines, and that will secure it right onto the canvas. And now you can just finish stitching it on, and once you're done securing those on, your canvas will be ready to be put into the wool. There it is. Your canvas is ready to go.